welcome to Cares Everywhere. It's me, your host, Anthony Brown, aka the Ghetto Practitioner. Man, I'm super excited to be here today. Welcome back. I am today we have a great guest that's gonna bring some energy, some creativity, some personality everywhere he goes. You see him out there in the entertainment world, some from his performances, others just all over the internet, and he's on cruises and just everywhere you gone. I know seeing clips of him in supermarkets, so you never know where you're going to run into this next person. So without further ado, let me bring to you Vince Royale.
What's up, Anthony? What's up, Solomon? Appreciate you guys having me on the show. I'm a big advocate of mental health, Anthony. And
Okay.
you're putting me on giving me a platform to share why I believe that my comedy is very needed, especially in today's world. I came from well, first of all, my name is Vince Royale. I'm originally from New Jersey, Jersey City, New Jersey. Grew up in Jersey. I live in Los Angeles now, and I've been doing comedy. This is my 18th year of doing stand-up comedy. And I never thought I would pursue it professionally. It started out 2008. I was going through some depression, going through a breakup. I decided, you know what? I'm just going to, drink my life away. And I was hanging out at little dive bars and bowling alleys. And one day they had amateur comedy night at a bowling alley. And the guy saw me sitting there and says, "Hey, you're here every week. Why don't you go up there and just rant?" And I started talking about my life, and it was therapeutic for me, but people were laughing at my pain. So wait a minute, you think what I'm going through is funny? And it felt good. It was, it was free therapy for me at that point. So I would just go back every week. One day, they signed me up for a comedy contest, and I won $50. I remember this in Anaheim. And ever since then, I was hooked, and I became obsessed with making people laugh because it healed me. Maybe forget what I was going through at that time. But I realized throughout the years that I'm also helping others. People would come up to me and tell me, "You know what? I'm glad I came to your show. I was going through a lot in my life. You made me forget about it, whatever it is." It's definitely raising a vibration. It's putting people in a good headspace, and in a better mood. Comedy is needed. We need laughter. And then scientifically, they said laughter is the best medicine. So
Right.
it actually helps lower your blood pressure, decreases stress levels. There's so many health benefits to laughter. So I'm a big advocate of bringing joy and laughter to people's lives.
Right. And then we do appreciate it. I can truthfully say that I have sat in your audience and thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Oh, thank you,
know,
Anthony. You know what? I
it's
appreciate you supporting me all these years. You've seen my journey as a comedian. You watched me grow, and I've been blessed. This year, like I said, it's my 18th year doing comedy. I'm been on television. I've toured the country, toured the world. So I've been in a good place. I never thought that something that I was doing as a hobby would turn into something that I would do professionally. And I'm blessed to be, I'm blessed with all these opportunities. I'm filming my first stand-up comedy special on this month, March 21st, which is going to stream in multiple platforms. So like Roku and Amazon. So I'm excited about that. And with a company named Laugh After Dark.
okay.
I'm excited. Like I said, this is years of my comedy stories and jokes that I've put together. I'm gonna put the best of the best together because this is my first introduction to the world.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm excited about it because, like I said, there's a lot of people, there are millions of people out there, billions of people out there who probably are not familiar with my work. So this is a good introduction. It's like an artist or a band coming out with their first album. It's equivalent to that.
Wow. And what's really fascinating, because like you say, you've been doing this for 18 years, man. 18 years. And
Yeah, see,
so
my comedy's legal now. It's able to buy. It can
it's
register.
legal.
Yeah, it can vote. It could do a lot of legal things. It could move out the house now.
Oh, okay, you're legit, huh?
Mhm.
Okay. And what's fascinating is you make it look so easy, but what's the grind behind the shine? What is those that are striving to be successful comedians? What is it that they don't realize that happens behind the scene?
A lot of trial and error. A lot of people think, oh yeah, well you make it look so easy, like you're just natural up there, just talking. Well, they don't understand a lot of times that it's all about the stage time. When I first started comedy, my first year, I was fortunate enough to meet Tommy Davidson, who is a legend, a veteran comedian. He was in Living Color, multiple movies. I met him for the first time outside of the Laugh Factory, and I asked him, what's the best advice you could give to me as a young comedian? He goes, well, you got to do it every night, man. You got to do it like 7 nights a week till it's instinctive. I'm like, wow, that's insane. So it's like equivalent putting 10,000 hours of anything that you want to be good at. So for the first few years of comedy, I just kept going up in every stage that I can find, whether it's a coffee shop, the dive bar, someone's backyard, living room, anywhere I could work my craft, I would do until it became natural, instinctive. I'm not gonna lie though, the first 7 years, I was still nervous. I would still have stage fright, but after a while, you hit a certain point that something clicked in my head where like, you know what, just have fun. It doesn't matter, and once I got over that, it became more of now it's just adrenaline and I'm just having fun up there and I'm learning it became a muscle. Comedy is basically a muscle that you constantly have to work on. So I guess if you want to be skilled or good at anything, you have to constantly go to the gym or constantly work on your craft till it becomes natural. And that's what it is. I think just being obsessed, dedicated. I remember I don't know it's like that Mamba mentality, I believe. Kobe Bryant, he was always out there working on pushing himself to be better. And
Okay,
and
okay.
especially in entertainment business, there's so many talented people, millions of comedians out there. I learned that for me to constantly get work, I have to be undeniable. People have to go to my show and be blown away and constantly think I am the funniest thing they ever saw. So I do my very best to give my best performance, be the funniest when it comes to my performance, my writing, my improv. I have to put on a good show. And that's the only way I will survive in this business, because it's one of those things where I'm not, the only way I'll get a check and get paid is to constantly get booked, you know? And I've been doing this full time for the past 4 or 5 years now. But before then, I was constantly doing side jobs and side hustles to support my comedy. I suffered a lot, man. I've actually had to sleep in my car. I've lost relationships with friends, family, girlfriends, because they didn't believe that what I was doing was stable. You'd always get, that critique. Well, why don't you just find a regular job then? Why do you pursue this? There's something in me says, you know what? This is what I love to do. This is what I'm passionate about. One day it'll probably pay off, and it has. Now I'm
Mm.
blessed that everything from my home to my lifestyle, I can say is because of my comedy. So I'm able to pay my bills now. I have a roof over my head. I have food, and I'm able to take care of my family. So I'm very blessed and grateful. I could wake up and say that, wow, I stuck with it. I never gave up, even though there were times that I didn't know where my next meal was going to be. I'd wake up sleeping in my car with a tweaker trying to break. I was in Long Beach, coming home from a gig. I park right there on PCH in Redondo, and I was tired, and I was sleeping out of my car, and then a tweaker was trying to break into my car, and I was like, oh man, okay, this is it for me. I guess I'm either gonna get jacked or whatever else. I don't know, because I don't know. You're familiar with Long Beach, right? So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
live. Yeah, I was parked right there between where one block is really gay, and then the other block and the other side is really hood. So it's a mixture of both. So I didn't know if I was gonna get jacked or jacked off. I don't know if I could say that in the podcast. I'm sorry. Because the guy was squeaking, and I don't know. And he was looking at me with googly eyes as he was trying to break in the door. So I thought, I don't know what he wanted. But you know what? It was one of those, it was a scary situation. So now I'm traumatized by that. I never sleep in my car anymore.
Okay.
So I promised myself, I just got to work hard so I don't have to sleep in my car.
Oh man, that's I don't mean to laugh, but that's some funny stuff. But sorry. Okay.
It's funny now, but it was scary then. I'm like,
Right.
just being in a vehicle with somebody's trying to break in, at that time, like, you don't know what's going on.
Right. Right. And being up on stage and multiple times in your career so far, what do you think was probably one of your most memorable moments when you knew you were there, you arrived?
You know, performing in a theater inside of a cruise ship in front of about 1,200 people.
Wow.
And that was the first time I said, wow, I can make 1,200 people laugh at the same time. And then it was, I had about 2-3 years ago, I got my first standing ovation. And I was just blown away. I was like, whoa, I've never got a standing O before. And ever since then, I've been chasing that moment and that night. So every set is like, well, it was okay, but it wasn't like the time I had a standing ovation. I got laughs, but it was not like nobody stood up and clapped. So it's one of
Wow.
those like, I just have a high standard and high expectations of myself. But that's just me being an artist, constantly trying to push myself to be better. In order to be great, I guess I have to constantly work on my craft and be obsessed with it in a healthy way, though, of course,
Right. And then I can understand. I always tell people if you shoot for the stars, you land on the moon. At least you get off the earth. You know,
Exactly.
always aim high. Always aim high. That's one of the things I try to tell my listeners all the time. It's like we encourage, we don't discourage. You know, see yourself in a better light, and you'll step out the dark. And I can come up with all kinds of analogies, but I'm going to leave that up to you.
Absolutely. And I never thought that me just going up there, telling jokes, making people laugh, will allow me to travel and see places I could never imagine. Like, like I can't believe I'm waking up instead of me waking up in my car, now I get to sit on the beach somewhere and just enjoy like crystal clear Caribbean water one day, or been to places where, wait, I've seen this in the movies. This is where rich people hide their money.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool, man. I'm learning multiple languages, traveling, just meeting people from all over the world. I'm like, this is insane, man. I'm living a totally different reality than I thought I would be living, man.
Wow.
So I'm blessed, man. I know not everybody gets to experience that in life, but all I know is that, look, I have one chance at this life thing. I might as well go for what I love doing. I've had a family member who passed away a couple years ago. My uncle, rest in peace, my uncle. He worked for about 40 years, and he passed away after he was diagnosed with kidney failure. He was on dialysis in his deathbed. He said, he didn't really get to do what he wanted in life. All he did was work really hard and to provide for his family, but he didn't really get to see what he wanted to do. He wasn't ready to go. And he was young. He was on maybe late 50s, early 60s. And I said, well, you know what? I might as well just do what I want to do in life and just have fun. As long as it's healthy and it's not hurting anyone, and, go for it. A lot of people think they work for a company, think it's guaranteed. You never know. with the economy and inflation, people get laid off, or just one thing can put you in a place of, hey, now I'm unemployed. I got to look for something. Which is nothing wrong. I respect a lot of people that work hard, but also respect an artist who's dedicated to his craft and believes in following his passion. They always tell me that, years ago, they said, well, choose work that you love and you'll never have to work a day in your life.
That's true.
I never understood that. I'm like, okay, now I get it.
That
But
is true.
if you have a talent, definitely pursue it. Don't let anybody discourage you, man. There's a lot of negative people that will just tell you, yeah, that's not going to work, man. You know what? Just get a real job. I've been told that so many times. Like for me, I'm not even that famous. I'm good. Like there's so many superstars out there and comedians, but I'm in a place where just because I'm doing what I love, I figure out how to turn this passion into a living. I'm able to monetize stuff that, wow, man, I'm really paying bills with this. I'm able to, put away for retirement and savings and really, wow, this is crazy.
And so, you mentioned, back in the past, people were saying, why don't you get a real job? Where you are right now, if somebody was to walk up to you and go, Vince, get a real job, what you going to say to them?
I'm like, why would I do that? Well, what I'm doing right now is I have the freedom. I could choose where I want to. I could make my own schedule. I could travel the world. Like, why would I, go put myself in a position where I'm making somebody else rich? But me as an independent contractor, I'm able to, I'm good. You know me? I do have to feel, like I said, I have to be, as an entertainer, as an artist, I have to think of myself as the CEO of my company. I'm a brand. So I have to be, every artist needs to understand the business as well. It's not just about, hey, it's not just about performing. That's only like 5% of it. But learning how to take care of business, whether it's from accounting, taxes, reinvesting, branding, promotions, marketing, all that stuff plays a huge role into being a successful artist. Whether you're a singer, actor, comedian, rapper, knowing the business is so important to having a successful career, And you don't have to be a superstar. Like I said, I'm not a superstar, but I'm still making money. But like I'm still tapping into my full potential and my full network.
Okay, big businessman, you. Okay.
I mean, you know what? I had to learn because I said, you know what? I'm not gonna be sleeping in my car, and that's my motivation.
And I don't blame you, man. Especially,
I know what it's like to be hungry, and to
right.
You know what? You understand this, Anthony. I'm basically, I lived out of my car for about a year or two, and there are times that I was so hungry, but I didn't have the money to eat, and I would just, you know what? Maybe if I just sleep, I'll wake up and I'll be all right. Maybe the hunger will go away, and so. I'm just grateful, like I said, that I have food and I have clothes and I have a roof over my head. And now I have extra. So I'm learning things like financial planning for my future.
Okay. So you're looking forward. Have you ever had anybody come up to you and go, man, what you do or what you did really impacted me? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Multiple times. I can't specify what I know. It's been multiple times where people have had like a loved one pass away and they were depressed for months, and he went to a comedy show, went to go see me or seen one of my videos online, and it made them laugh, and they said thank you for what you're doing because it really pulled me out of a dark place. I couldn't laugh for months. My wife or my husband passed away or died from a disease, and they told me that I really needed that, and that to me made me realize, oh, okay, I chose the right thing to do, man. I'm bringing joy and laughter into the world. We need comedy, especially, you watch the news these days, and it's not all good, man. It's very depressing. Like we have so many issues, and I'm like, no, we need laughter, man. I gotta.
We really do.
So that's true. I'm glad, like I said, there's laughter in the world. Without comedy, be a very miserable place, miserable existence.
Oh yeah, you gotta laugh, man. It's important that we're able to still do that, you know? Like you said, so much stuff is going on right now, man. It's crazy. And at any given point in time, somebody can sink into depression. And I mean, you combine that with first being locked up from COVID, and we're not associated with one another or talking to each other like we used to. And now the world's going crazy. It's like, we need you out here, man. We need
Oh,
you.
definitely, man. I'm definitely like like most artists, we're prone to depression. So I'm just glad that I have comedy to turn something into a joke, you know. I'll share something personal with you. I lost my hearing when I was 7 years old, so I'm deaf out of my right ear. So I've always been only able to hear out of one ear, and I'm used to that. Okay, that's fine. You know, I lost my. It's not a big deal to me. I just hear, out of one ear. Last year, I lost my vision in my left eye, so due to an injury. And so I was depressed for months, man. You know, I'm like, man, I'm already deaf in one ear. Now I'm blind in one eye. You know, the moment I shared this with my friends, they said, you know what? We're just going to call you 50-50 from now on. So, yeah, but you got to look at the good things, the positive things, As an adult male, I'm glad I still have both my testicles. So that's the good news. My wife does keep them in her purse.
Uh,
Yeah. If I lose a testicle, I'm just gonna yell "Uno."
Well, that's one way to look at it.
Yeah. No, it's like I said, it's crazy. If I didn't have comedy and I couldn't laugh at myself, I don't know, I'd probably be in a place of depression. I'm like, come on, man. I just got to take the positive things and understand that, you know what? With my disabilities, I can get a placard and get good parking.
Hmm.
And I get priority boarding every time I fly. Yeah. I'm hoping I qualify for student loan forgiveness. So there's a lot of multiple things. But, being invisibly disabled, I don't know if that makes sense to you. Because people look at me like, you don't look disabled. Like, how am I supposed to look like? I just explained to you, I'm deaf in one ear and blind in one eye.
50-50.
Yeah.
That was good. I like that one. Let me ask you some, I guess it says here, rapid fire questions, okay? Answer these for me, sir. Coffee or tea?
Oh, man. You know what? I'm a big coffee lover. I love coffee, but my blood pressure's high now, so I got to do tea.
Okay. What's your favorite food?
Mexican food.
Okay. Any specific kind of Mexican food or all of it?
All of it. There's nothing. I can have tacos every day. Or my second favorite. No, actually, it's a tie between Mexican food and seafood. I love seafood. And seafood any type of way. Mexican style seafood is even better because it's a combination of Mexican and seafood. Mariscos is called, right? Love it. But I also love Cajun food. I love all that juicy Cajun seasoning. I'll do that any day, every day of the week. I'll have seafood or Mexican food.
Okay.
You're asking me like to give you one answer and give you two answers for each.
That's okay. That's all right. I'm taking it. I'm just loving the company right now.
Hot.
What's your favorite place you ever performed?
My favorite place I ever performed. Oh man. Probably my home club, which is the stand-up comedy club in Bellflower. Where I'm filming my special. I love it because it's owned by a husband and wife, John and Scarlett, and they've been real good to me. And it's a family-owned business. They understand comedy, so I love that. I love anything that's family-owned and it's not too corporate. It's intimate setting. I love. That's why I chose to film my comedy special there.
Okay. And what would be your dream place to perform?
My dream place to perform, a theater. probably a theater outside of a cruise ship. That's probably maybe a 700-800 seater.
Okay.
And
Okay.
some comedians would say, "Man, I want to do a stadium." I think to me a stadium is too huge of a capacity. I remember I reading Steve Martin's book when he first performed at a stadium. He just lost the passion of performing stand up because it lost the connection that you have in an intimate setting. But I'd try it at least once, but I really enjoy intimate settings. Small theaters is probably my preference.
Okay. Okay. And so that's my little rapid fire thing. I was thinking as you was answering these questions because again, I love comedy. I really do. I love to laugh. I like to feel good. Um, when and you've been around for a long time, do you ever get hecklers and how do you deal with that?
Absolutely. Well, you know what? I'm not a mean spirited person. I'm not a roast comedian. So I do have somebody heckle me. I'll play along with them unless it's they're belligerently drunk, and but a lot of times I'll improvise, and then when I do talk to the audience, it's very playful. It's not mean spirited. I'm not one of those like, "Hey, you piece of garbage," like you see on social media. A lot of comedians just go in and push down on the audience, but and that's not my style. It's not my personality. When I do talk to the audience, it's all very playful and lighthearted. It's never mean spirited, and unless they're mean to me, then I'll go back and forth. But I'm not gonna make I'm not gonna make you part of my show for 15, 20 minutes. That's never been my style. A lot of times I'll handle it 1 or 2 lines and move on.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And I see you everywhere. Okay, I see you everywhere, and I've been noticing this whole supermarket thing, or you're in some store. What's up with that, man? Tell us about that a little bit.
When I first started comedy, they told me, all you have to do is be on Comedy Central or late night television. But nowadays, with the internet, you really can develop a following, a fan base by having viral videos. So you can't just be a stand-up comedian. I understand that you have to be a content creator too. So I create content everywhere I am, and I'll try to, I'll I'll get my wife involved. I say, "Babe, we're in the supermarket. I have an idea. Let's do this, and we'll shoot a skit." So the world is my stage. That's how I see it. I said, you know what? I have a phone. I have the internet. I can create content from anywhere in the world. So that's how that's all it is. And sometimes there's funny situations everywhere you go. So
Okay, because I was wondering about that. I'm like, look at him, man. He's just going crazy in a supermarket.
yeah.
And there's no limit to where you get
Oh
material
man,
from.
yeah, absolutely, man. There's comedy everywhere. I've done supermarkets, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and the streets, or just random places, or just walking down the street.
Okay, so here's another one of my little silly questions. And when you're doing comedy out there, do you find do you find the atmosphere of people different in Walgreens versus a CVS?
It depends, like I said, it's sometimes when we shoot skits or pranks, some people they're not in on it, so I like to capture people's reactions because it's genuine. They don't know what's going on, so yeah, I like it when they don't expect it. But when it's a real skit, when everybody's in on it, then it's a different type of vibe. You just, like I said, because everybody's in on it. But when it's just me or another comedian just pranking people and we're just getting reactions, it's funny to me because they don't know what's going on. My wife and I, we shot a skit where we dressed up as Kanye and Bianca, and we're just walking around the mall and getting people's reactions. It went viral. It has like millions of views on my Instagram and I believe on YouTube.
Nice. And so you mentioned your wife a couple times. How does how does Vince Royale attract a woman such as the one you married?
You know what? It was funny because we met on Instagram. She saw me on a TV show on Netflix, which is now canceled. But from there, she followed me on social media, Instagram, and I noticed she was on my news feed. So I sent her a DM, a message, and from there we started communicating. It turned out she was from St. Louis at that time, and I was in LA, and we did a long distance relationship. And now she decided to move to LA to be with me, and we've been together going on 7 years, 7 years married, and she started doing comedy a couple few years as well. So I kind of just mentored her and showed her the ropes. And she's super funny. Sometimes she hosts, so she'll be a guest on my show.
Okay. All right, that's some good stuff. And so my last question I have for those people listening right now, and they're thinking about going into the entertainment business. I know you said a lot of practice and make it your passion. How would they even get started? And, what are some of the pitfalls or some of the bonuses that, they could use as far as a guideline?
Well, definitely don't come in with the mindset of you're going to make a lot of money right away. It took me years to finally figure out how to make money. I mean, it's going to be basically being dedicated to your craft, whether it's whatever your talent is. You have to love what you do, dedicated to the point that you're really good at what you do, be undeniably good.
Undeniably good.
Yeah. It can't be just, everybody can have a hobby, but to make a career out of something, I believe in dedication and learning the business side of it as well. Because anybody, people, there's talent from everywhere, but sometimes people neglect the business side of things. It is show business. People forget business is an important aspect of this. If not, you're going to get screwed around and people will take advantage of your talents and be exploited. So, learn different ways and don't get discouraged when it comes to rejection. It's part of it, man. You have to have thick skin. There's going to be a lot of no's, a lot of rejection, and don't think because you can't, they don't want you to perform here. That there are plenty of times that I want to get into a comedy club or perform at a show, but they won't answer my emails or they won't respond to my phone calls. So then I realize, well, that's not the only space where I can perform. I create my own opportunity. Like I'm going to give you an example. I did a lot of cruise ships about a year or two ago out of Galveston, Texas, which is located near Houston, about an hour. And people from the cruise ships came up to me and approached me and said, "Hey, you ever come to Houston to perform?" I said, "I've never have, but let me see if I can get a hold of a comedy club there." I reached down and sent emails and I got no response. But I have an email list now of people I've met from Houston and followers from social media that want to go pay to go see me. So I decided, you know what? Well, I'll rent a small theater. I rented a small theater and set up an Eventbrite, sent out my messages, and I sold out the show. So you don't have to wait. A lot of times there's people that are gatekeeping, but at the end of the day, just learning how to be resourceful and creative and finding, it's like problem solving.
Mm-hmm.
I have a market. I have people that are willing to pay to go see my product or my service. How can I get, how could I present this to them?
Right. And that's cool, versatility, creativity, all of those things is what allows you to grow instead of waiting for the spoon, go out and prepare your own meal. I like that.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of times maybe you just have to, come halfway.
Mm-hmm.
Meet your opportunity halfway. I've never been the type of person that, well, maybe somebody will come knocking at my door. If I sit there and wait, maybe opportunity won't come knocking. Maybe I got to go find it.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard for me to sit still, man. I'm very ADHD and I just I got to stay in motion. I have to stay busy.
Absolutely. Well, that's cool. Thank you, sir, for coming. Tell us again,
That's
how do
cool.
we get a hold of you? How do people find you?
Oh, I have a website, vinceroyale.com. That's Vince and Royale. It has my tour dates, my bio, my videos. So anybody's interested, just follow me there. It has all my information for my comedy special. Um, I'm also on social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Uh, so yeah, I'm pretty active online. And like I said, I don't have millions of followers, but I have enough thousands of followers that have been loyal for all these years. So I have a small little niche following that I can rely on,
Okay, okay. And
and
so,
hoping to grow that. So hopefully, with the release of my comedy special, hopefully that grows and I'm able to perform in a smaller theater.
uh-huh. And that's a big deal. And tell us, what date is that again that you're filming your show?
March 21st at the Stand Up Comedy Club in Bellflower. And I have a 7 p.m. show, which is almost sold out. So if you guys go to thestandup.com, get your tickets. And if you're listening to this, use promo code Vince, and I'll give you a discounted ticket. But I believe there's only like 15, 20 tickets left. So jump on that soon. The club says if once I sell that out, possibly they'll do a second show at 10 p.m. But I have to make sure this is sold out first.
Okay, we want to sell you out, folks. All you out there listening right now, go to the website. Remember here, promo code Vince.
Yes. Yeah, so you can go to vinceroyale.com. There's a link there too. So it's going to be a fun night. And it's not just a comedy show. It's a full-blown production. The company's called Laugh After Dark. Great team. They shot multiple comedy specials before. I believe we're using 6 to 7 cameras. So it's going to be a full production. It's going to be great, man.
Oh,
So if you
wow.
guys never experienced or been on set, this is the time to experience that. See history in the making. See me deliver my first comedy special. And I'm excited because, like I said, 18 years. I remember listening to Kevin Hart's podcast one time. He said his overnight success took him 19 years. So I'm 1 year shy of my overnight success. Maybe this
Hey,
is
man.
maybe this is it, man.
Many blessings to you, Vince. And again, thank you for coming. You know, folks, it's been great hearing about Vince's journey, his experience, and the passion behind what he does. You know, carers are just found in hospitals or charities, man. It's everywhere. You know, it's found in laughter, creativity, people using their gift to brighten someone else's day, man. And so, again, thank you for coming. I really look forward to seeing you continue to grow. I wish I'd been in California at that time to be on the show. If I could just even do a stupid cameo and put my face up there, I don't know.
Oh,
But
man, it would be great to see you, man. We miss having you out here, Anthony. And I thank you for having me on this platform and sharing and let me promote my comedy and my show. Solomon, the producer, thank you for having me, man. Hopefully see you in my comedy special filming. Just it's gonna be a good time. And definitely just keep laughing, man. I love what you do. Well, thank you for sharing your story and your journey. It's definitely inspiring, man. I hope to keep raising the vibes and making people love and laugh.
that's right. That's right. All right, folks. So this is Anthony Brown, aka the Ghetto Practitioner. Once again, we had a fantastic show. I look forward to seeing other hosts or inviting other people to our show. I look forward to seeing all of you out there supporting us. You can always reach out to AnthonyHowardBrown.com. You can just go Anthony Howard Brown all over the place. You can look at the Ghetto Practitioner. Don't forget our books from Park Bench to Park Avenue and the Ghetto Practitioner. I shall see you all the next time. Until then, create a great day.